Joining me today, Dayvan Bull, Pilot Mound Hockey Academy, male U17 now team. Dayvan, how you doing? Whereabouts are you right now? And how you been holding up over the last month? No school, actually in school.
Um, I'm doing good so far. I mean, I'm in Saskatoon with my family, and this past month has been all right. Got to spend time with my family, and it's just been overall great.
It's pretty different considering the fact that you should be in school, right? And missing probably most of your teammates.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, it's hopefully we get to see something more than normal in the near future. But David, I got to ask you a question. Your first year Buffalo, what made the decision for you to come to Pilot Mound to become part of this team?
Well, actually, I was looking at academies, and when I was in Yukon for the National Aboriginal Hockey Championships, I was on a team with Josh Bear, and I mentioned to him that I was looking for a place to play, and then he recommended me to Rod.
Right on. So Rod got a hold of you, and
Yeah,
the rest is history, I guess.
yes, it is.
There it is. So coming into the beginning, let's go to the fall. Your first days in Pilot Mound, do you remember them?
Yeah, I do actually.
What was the most memorable thing? What was the most interesting thing you found out about the town?
Well, the town is it's a fairly nice town. You know a lot of the kids from school, and it's very friendly.
Absolutely. And I got to ask you this question, considering you were looking for academies, why Pilot Mound Hockey Academy? Is it the word that Josh told you, or is it just a close to home kind of place? Or what set them above everything else for you?
Well, Pilot Mound. Previously, I went to Notre Dame, and we were only on the ice for about once every second day. And I was looking at Pilot Mound, and Josh told me a lot of good things about the program. Now we skate every day, and that was a big part of it.
Absolutely. When you have access to a rink that's about 500 feet away, would you say,
Yeah,
give or take, and
yeah,
you
around
get
there.
access to it whenever you want, David, that's a pretty cool thing to have.
Yeah, it is.
Not taking anything away from Wilcox. I mean, Notre Dame, fantastic school, but I mean, the resources and being on the ice, it's got to be a step up for you.
Yeah, it is. At Notre Dame, we had 6 teams there, 6 midget teams, and here we only have one, so the focus is more on us, and that's what I like.
That's got to be pretty helpful as well, considering the coaching staff you have. I mean, Coach Rick, Coach Ernie, a lot of information, a lot of years behind both of those gentlemen. What did you learn most quickly about Coach Rick that got you into his good book, so to speak, early in the year?
Well, at the start of the year, I think he just told me like he kind of fine tuned my game. I made a lot of mistakes at the start, and he told me how to fix them, and that was a key. That was a
And
key.
then obviously now balancing the academic side of things as well. Was that a bit of a difficult thing for you to acquire early in the year, or was it just the fact that you were away from home being the most difficult thing?
Well, I've been away from home 2 years before coming here, so it was a bit of an easy transition.
Okay, so you got the hockey, you got the academics, you're ready to go. You already mentioned the fact that you'd made a little bit more than normal mistakes. Why was it so easy, or why was it so difficult at the beginning to find your stride with this team?
Um, well, Ernie and Rick have a lot of knowledge about the game, and they have like a lot of tips and tricks that I didn't really know about, and that's where like they came in and helped me.
Absolutely. I mean, Ernie doesn't say much, but when he says something, it means something. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
That's what a lot of the defense. I mean, Tyne I spoke with, he says the same thing. And I mean, being there for 3 years, Ernie, when he opens his mouth, it means something. So what was, you got a lot of new defensemen this year. I mean, Tynan was the veteran, if you want to call it that. But I mean, there was four of you guys on the D side that were fairly new, were brand new to this program. A lot of speed, a lot of intro to moving the puck forward. Was that something that was a common denominator for all of you defensemen?
Yeah, we like, yeah, as you mentioned, we like to play with speed and we like to move the puck well. And Tynan, what he brought, it was just an easy transition.
Absolutely. He was kind of that lead by example kind of co-captain.
Yeah.
Throughout the year, David, did you think you'd have this much success into this year? You guys were a very young team.
Well, yeah. Besides the young, we had a lot of veterans coming back, and they knew what it takes to get to like the finals and stuff. And a lot of us new guys just followed their lead, and it was I'd say that I kind of expected this success, but at the same time, it's still surprising. I'd say.
So as the gel, the glue was created very quickly with you defensemen. Uh, your D partners were always changing because of injury, because of power play, penalty kill. Who did you find that worked the groove with you the best over the course of the year?
I'd say Tynan. We played a lot together.
You played the right side, he played the left, correct?
Yeah, most of the time.
And you're naturally a right-handed shot?
I'm a lefty.
Lefty, so you played inside. Do you
Yeah.
find that difficult as a defenseman? I mean, I did the same thing growing up too, but I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because when the forwards dump it in to the right side, I can just pick it up and I'm on my forehand already. That's what I like about the right side.
Absolutely. Would you consider yourself more of an offensive player or a defensive player?
As a defense, I'd consider myself more offensive.
So you like moving the puck up. Throughout the year, we talk about the Canadian Second School Hockey League, or Sports School Hockey League, sorry. Your record against every team was always a winning record throughout the year. You went into the last weekend losing those 3 games. What was going through your mind and the players' minds knowing that this type of play was unacceptable going into BC for championship weekend?
Well, what we did is after we lost those 3 games, Rick and Ernie just told us to, like put it behind us and to just work on what we like messed up on during the practices right beforehand. And I think those practices helped a lot.
So what was your focus during those practices individually, and then also seeing the team work together and build that strength once again?
Well, individually, I just tried working my hardest and considering like it was playoffs and the most. And for the team, I just thought that we had to like communicate more on the ice and practice and get more used to it.
So we come home from Saskatchewan. We then get on a couple of days and we go back to BC. You lose that first game. What's going through your head losing that first game 4-0?
Well, at the start of it, we didn't really get our legs moving. And since we came from Manitoba, we busted. And I'm pretty sure Edge flew out. And I think they just weren't as tired as we are from the bus.
That's a huge thing when you talk about bus legs, air legs. That first game, you got to get it all out as quick as possible so you can play at your highest potential for the remainder of that championship weekend, which you guys did.
Yeah.
You built a momentum unlike any other, David. How can you explain, starting with game 2, ramping up into the semifinals, playing Prairie in the semi, and knowing you're going to have to play Edge again in the finals to win that championship?
Well, during the second game, we knew we had to win and just to get to like the semis and the finals. And so I'm pretty sure like all of us just played our best hockey of the year. And yeah.
So it came down to you, Edge. Was it Monday, I think it was? You played this team before. How are you feeling? A little bit of jitters, a little bit of nervousness, just the fact that you wanted to get on the ice and just start playing your best hockey?
Well, I felt nervous, but my teammate Garrett, he told me, you make a lot of mistakes when you're nervous, so just feel happy about it that you're there, and that just calmed me down.
So let's get to that happy point, David. I think it was 5:21 in the third period, something like that, where you get a pass from Brett Brett's telling you to shoot the puck all the time. It's a seeing eye shot through 2 pairs of skates, a pair of shin pads, a shoulder pad, and it finds the twine. Tell me that, have you ever been in a position like that before in your hockey career?
No, I haven't.
And do you remember who you looked at on the ice and said, oh my gosh, we just are up 2-1?
Well, when I shot it, Ashton and Garrett were in front. And then when it went in, I just kind of skated to the center. And then I just cellied.
Had to sell it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I looked back at Jace and Brett first.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players on that bench and on that ice with you. Knowing that it was only 5 minutes left, did you have an idea it was going to be the game-winning goal? Like, it felt like overtime, didn't it?
Yeah, actually it did. And when it came down to it, I think we played our best defensively. And I didn't really know that it was going to be the game winner, but, eventually it did. And that was amazing.
You guys played an amazing weekend. After the regulation, the buzzer goes, the fat lady is sung. Do you remember who you first said, oh my gosh, to and hugged? How high did you throw your stick? Where did your helmet land? Do you remember any of that at the end of the game?
Yeah, actually, I remember it clearly. And since I was standing right in front of the net once the buzzer went, I'm pretty sure Jen was skating to the side, and then just hugged him first.
So Chenner got the first hug.
Yeah.
Talk about him and the fact that you had a revolving door of goaltenders. There was always 3 goaltenders rotating through that, and Chenner gets the call in the final. Obviously, it was a great call. Only 1 goal allowed, but as a defenseman, how do you prepare knowing you've got 3 lead goaltenders on your team?
Well, the 3, they're all like very good goalies, and they know how to stop the puck. And whenever like Chen comes in, I just know that he's going to stop the puck, and he's very energetic. He lets me know where people are. That's what I like about him.
And all 3 goalies are pretty short. They're not like 6'1" towers like the goaltender that's from Edge. He was quite tall,
Yeah.
quite large, took up a lot of net, but those 3 guys, they played pretty big the entire season, correct?
Yeah, they did. They're a tremendous part of our success.
Absolutely. David, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about a little bit of student life again right now, currently what's going on. And then we're going to dig a little deep and talk about who Dayvan is off the ice. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
All right.
So as we mentioned, Dayvan Bolt in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Correct me if I'm wrong, David, it was about an 86-kilometer drive to Wilcox. Is that right, or is it a bit longer?
I think it's longer than that.
Okay.
Maybe about.
I forget if it's closer to Regina or closer to Saskatchewan. That's why I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh yeah. Wilcox is half hour south of Regina.
Okay, so it's a little bit further than from Saskatoon. So growing up, David, I got to ask you, being a student athlete, knowing you wanted to play hockey, knowing you wanted to get the grades, our current situation now is not optimal. Everything's being taught online. How are you able to keep track of your classes? Have the professors or the instructors at PMCI been helping you guys out over the course of this time?
Well, we do most of our schooling on Google Classroom, and I think we get around 3 hours of assignments each week, or around there. I'm not sure. So
it works out fairly well. Google Classroom is something I didn't have 20 years ago when I was in high school. It's kind of a great thing to have, yes, to keep on track with your studies, but at the same time, still play hockey on the road.
Yeah, it's great.
That's fantastic. So going through it all, David, do you enjoy being more of a learner by yourself as an individual, or would you rather be in a classroom setting with a teacher, with your friends, more social?
Well, I think I like a bit of both. Here at home, I think it's easier to focus and do my work by myself, and in the classroom, I like socializing with friends and doing work and just I just like the environment.
Okay, so it's a little bit easier to focus one-on-one. How is it become a little bit difficult knowing that you have to keep asking teachers questions through an email or through a chat as opposed to raising your hand? How different is that? I mean, I find that interesting because, it's a different learning setting, right?
Yeah, it's actually quite different. Usually the teacher just comes walking over to you, but you have to set time and a date to chat with them online.
Perfect. So if teachers aren't available, mom and dad giving you a hand, are they able to keep up with your school?
Yeah, some of it.
Some of it? Okay, cool. What's the hardest class for you to really comprehend online and wish you were kind of more in a teacher social setting?
Well, I think one of my classes, the hardest one would be applied math.
Okay, it's an elevated math, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, so a little bit of algebra, a little bit of trig kind of things.
yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Awesome. Okay, so knowing that you're grade 11 now or grade 10?
Grade 11.
Grade 11, so you have a senior year. What are your aspirations after next year?
Well, I hope to go on to play junior after next season. And from there on, I hope to get maybe a college offer down the road.
Okay, so the idea of a student athlete is certainly up your alley.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now we're going to talk a little, David, about what makes you click off the ice. But before I get to that, I got to ask you, I know a lot of the players left very quickly from Pilot Mound, left a lot of their personal belongings back at the school in the dorm. What are you missing most that you wish you had with you right now?
Well, I was missing my fridge really, and yesterday I went to go, or actually no, 2 days ago I went to go grab it.
So you went back there to go grab the fridge.
Yeah, and a couple other things.
Right on. So was there anything dirty in the fridge you had to take care of, or was it pretty clean?
It was pretty clean for the most part. There's just unopened Gatorades really.
Okay, so it's just the fact you have a little sneak away for some little snacks afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Right on. So we've got to ask you this question. I've asked most of the players this. Who's the better cook, you, your parents, or the dorm?
I'd have to say my parents. I'm not
Okay.
a big cook, but over this quarantine, I've gotten a little bit into it.
Okay, so mom and dad are teaching you or letting you open up your wings a little bit. What do you enjoy cooking the most?
I like cooking breakfast the most.
Breakfast, okay. All right. If you had to pick inside work cooking or barbecue, what would you rather do?
I think I'd rather pick barbecue.
Okay. Who's the better cook, mom or dad?
I'd say they're both pretty even, but I'd have to go with my dad.
Okay. If you didn't have to make a pregame meal, what would you make for dinner?
I'd have to go with steak by out.
Okay. Okay. Brothers or sisters?
I have 2 sisters.
Younger or older?
Younger.
Younger. Okay, so you're the role model of the family. Have you been a good role model thus far, David?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Putting you on the spot there. Do either of your sisters play hockey as well, or is it just you and that's it?
Well, actually, both my sisters are quite young. I think one's 5. The other one's 1.
Oh, so we got maybe some young skaters coming up fairly soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, hopefully. Okay, so we're going to teach them how to skate, right, David?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so music, we found out that Brett was the DJ in the locker room. Were you okay with his music choices before games? And if not, what would you rather listen to?
Well, I was okay with his music, but usually I'd have my own headphones in, and I'd just be listening to different types of music. It wasn't really one specific genre.
So who's your favorite artist right now?
I'd have to say John Party.
Okay, cool, perfect. If you had to go to one concert you haven't gone to, who would you want to go see?
Probably a Luke Combs concert.
Yeah, boy, there you go. Okay. You like the big belt buckles and the twang. Okay, that's good. If you had to go on, now the other thing is a lot of players don't understand what the travel schedule is like. Going to Pilot Mound, I mean, you go to Banff, you go to BC a couple of times, Saskatchewan. downstates to Shattuck. Where is your favorite place to go with the hockey team? And where would you like to travel with your family if you could?
With the hockey team, I like going to Penticton. It's so nice there. It's beautiful. And, when we're on the bus, we talk a lot, we bond, and we do a lot of things. And with my family, I'd probably say the same place in Penticton.
BC, you wouldn't want to hit the islands or hit up some tropical place with bright white sands or a busy place like New York City? No?
No, I'm not really a big fan of the big cities.
I can see that, David. You're pretty laid back and pretty relaxed. What do you like to do in your off time that's not school and not hockey?
Well, I like playing a lot of video games with some of my teammates and friends. And other than that, I usually go run and stuff, lift weights, that sort of stuff.
So if Coach Rick was watching you, tell him that your off-season training is going okay?
Yep.
Good. A little bit of runs, a little bit of lifting. Tell me, is it better to have someone helping you through these workouts or helping you through versus, just not being motivated enough? Like, how do you stay motivated to continue with your off-season workouts?
Well, it's a lot easier with friends. Like, say in Pilot Mound, we work out together, we do a lot of things. But at home here, like, usually when I'm feeling like a little less motivated, I just play like types of music and then I try to go with the beat or something like that.
Okay. Got to go back to the video games for a quick sec. Is it NHL 20 that's the big game still?
Well, that's one of them, but usually I play Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, a little GTA. Who is the teammate that you fear playing NHL 20 against?
I'd have to say Dawson Chen.
Chenner plays NHL 20. Okay, we're gonna have to ask him.
Yep.
We're gonna see if he says anybody different. Who's the best player? Is it Dawson?
I think it'd have to be Leo.
Okay, right on. So two different names. We'll see if we get them on air and see if what they say. So, lastly, David, I want to ask you. I mean, I asked this question before I let everyone go. If you had to go back at an opportunity to say a farewell or not a goodbye, because you're hopefully going to see your players and your friends very soon, but what do you want to say to your classmates first that you haven't talked to over the last couple of months?
I just tell them that I miss them, I miss being with them and everything we do together.
Right on. And then for the teachers?
I appreciate what they do, like with the online stuff, and keeping us on track. And I just hope to get back there as soon as possible.
David, great words. You're very humble. You're very, very well spoken, and I really enjoyed getting to know yourself as well as the rest of the players this year while in Pilot Mound. Is there anything you'd like to tell everyone else in Pilot Mound before I say goodbye?
I'd like to say that Pilot Mound's a great community. It's a great place to have a hockey academy, and everyone's so kind there, and it's been amazing so far.
David, great words. We'll leave it at that. I want to thank you very much for joining me this evening. Enjoy your weekend, and stay safe, stay well, and keep on the off-season training, okay?
All right, thanks, Theo, sorry.
That's all right. Dayvan Bull, the game-winning goal scorer. Do you get does that sound right? Does that even mean anything? Is it a team thing? Like,
well, not a lot of guys talk about it, but it's something that I like, and it's just great. It was a great experience to go through.
You're in the right place at the right time, and you had some amazing players with you. Like I said, David, congratulations on the championship. Hopefully you get a sizing for a ring fairly soon. If you haven't done that already, I don't think you guys have done that yet.
No, we haven't.
But we got to get on. We got to get that done, right?
Yeah.
Right on.
Sure.
Dayvan Bull with the Pilot Mound Hockey Academy. Next year, U17 prep squad on Amateur Sports TV here at the Pilot Mound Hockey Academy show. Thanks for joining me, David.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.